Today I want to talk about edging. To edge or not to edge? What I want to say real quick, if you're new to this, edging is walking that fine line right up at the edge before you reset on your streak. It could be playing with yourself, stimulating yourself, maybe watching porn and just kind of like dipping your finger into it and then pulling yourself out and back in. It's kind of teetering on the edge. And I'll admit, I've done it. And while on streaks and never gone with a full-on reset. I found edging a way to sort of release steam, but as you progress in this goal, you'll learn that edging is really a form of self-torture. And as you get better at this goal and this habit of eliminating porn, eliminating masturbation, or whatever your goal is in between, you start to learn that edging is a recipe for disaster. All right, so I want to share a quick story with you. I woke up this morning. I'm doing great on the streak right now. The challenge is serving me perfect and excellent. This morning, I had the whole house to myself. That's a trigger. I wake up in bed with nothing to do, and I'm left with my thoughts about the anxieties and the stress that I have with the day ahead of me. I have a lot to do today. And then comes this itsy bitsy little creep of sexual thought, all right? And I'm really good at detecting this now. And this little creep of sexual thought started to fester, and the fantasy started to grow in my mind. And then I caught myself getting into that zone of edging a little bit. I'm like, okay, well, maybe if I just kind of touch a little bit or, peek at something, maybe a photo, and let that kind of like sit in my mind. It's just kind of like teasing, right? And then I caught myself and I'm like, why would I put myself through that torture? I've been down this road so many times and it never results in anything good, just more frustration, more temptation, and for some people, it's almost always a relapse, a reset. It just cannot be controlled. It's self-torture is what it is. So what I've learned to do over the last couple of months that I've really been perfecting my ability to handle this goal, I don't edge at all. I actually catch myself before I'm about to edge. I catch myself in that no arousal state. So if you missed the video, I'll put a link below on the no arousal practice, which is very critical to this goal. If you're practicing no arousal correctly and you're able to like spot when the thought enters your mind and is about to spread, and you eliminate it, you have no need to edge. There is no need for edge. You can actually completely overcome that entire arousal system. You could bypass the whole thing if you just nip it early and you get really good at that. So that's exactly what I did this morning. When I woke up and I felt that desire to edge, I completely went back to that no arousal practice and I said, hey, you're about to go on this journey now of that doesn't end. There's no end to fantasy and lusting. It just keeps going and going until you explode. I could do that, or I can just eliminate the thought, switch the distraction, and get my mind off of that. If you have trouble getting your mind off of something, the fantasy, and you cannot cut it, you need to go back to the no arousal video and really practice it, and then combine the meditation practice with that. Because no arousal and meditation are basically training your mind muscles to not get completely pulled into thoughts that spread. And that's how you prevent edging. So to edge or not to edge, in the first few years that I practiced this, I totally edged. And it was fine. I was able to pull myself back. It was kind of like me testing myself to see how far could I go and did I truly believe that I had control to bring myself back. And I succeeded in many cases. And sometimes when you're beginning and the energy is just so erratic and chaotic, having a little bit of that edging practice can feel like a little bit of steam is being released. But I'm going to challenge you to look at your past patterns and ask yourself, is edging a trap for you? And if it is, just eliminate it right away. If it's not a trap for you, you can play around with it. But what I would suggest is, if you can and you're advanced enough, do not edge. Do not even let yourself get to the state where you're edging, because then you're fighting. Then you're fighting to like recover, and then you're fighting to like not let it go further, and you're expending all this energy in prevention when you could just prevent it in the first place by cutting the thoughts out before they have a chance to sit in your brain and spread. So here's the thing. You've got two choices when it comes to edging. You could either pursue it and torture yourself. You're not going to get the result that you want at the end. It'll only result in a relapse. Or the other choice is don't edge and practice no arousal and cut those thoughts off from progressing. Those are the two choices when it comes to edging. Which one is going to work best for you and this goal in keeping you on track? That's the video for today. That's my thoughts on edging. If you can avoid it at all costs. Train yourself to become really good at cutting it off by practicing the no arousal technique and the meditation training. Those two together will help you prevent edging from ever becoming an issue. That's it for today. Have a good one.